All right, guys, what is up? This is Juan with the Trailer Parts Outlet and Full Send. We're here again at NATDA, and I got Corey with me from HSI Duratek. And funny thing is, we both manufacture axles. So it's going to be an interesting conversation because there's a lot of topic that's going on around in the show with what the hell's going on in the industry right now. So before I go any further, I'm going to let Corey introduce himself, and here we go.
Hey Juan, hey everyone, how you doing? I'm glad to be on Full Send with you, Juan. And so we're out of Des Moines, Iowa. My name is Corey Rice. I work with HSI Duratek. You can find us in the heart and the capital of Iowa. So we're building trailer axles.
Yeah.
We are building trailer axles.
So how did you get into building trailer axles?
All right. So the story is this, right? About I think 7-8 years ago, Dexter bought out a company called Axis.
Okay.
Out of Indiana. Okay. And they basically got rid of all the people that were there, right? And so what we did is we took Axis's old management, brought them up to Iowa, brought all their equipment up with us, and we started a company to build trailer axles because there was a huge neglect and gap in the Midwest.
And I think there's a huge gap all across the country right now. But we'll get into that one a little bit later in this podcast. But no, carry on.
So originally, we were in the tire and wheel industry for trailers and RVs and mobile homes and whatnot. And there's a few other companies that kind of the same situation. They came in, they drove the margins down. Didn't make sense for us to stay in that. We're a smaller family-owned company.
Yeah.
And we cater to other smaller family-owned companies. And so it made sense for us at the time to get into the axle industry. So it's been a road.
It has. And I will say that I've been in this game for 4 years, and it's been very interesting in these last 4 years on how everything has turned from lead times to axle manufacturing to just a service you get to when shit hits the fan and they send you the wrong shit and it's not getting taken care of in a timely manner. And then you're like us, how we got started was our retail side. We're a retail store, and we didn't even consider getting into the axle manufacturing. But like you said a minute ago, there was such a gap that wasn't getting fulfilled, and we're going through, I will say at the time, because 2000 or 2020, 2021, if you didn't peak, there was a problem. Because as a business, you should have grown because of so much people buying online or just, buying because of COVID. So they needed shit to do. So repairing a trailer or building a trailer is what a lot of the guys were doing for DIY projects.
Right.
And we were going about 3,000 axles, and we were only maybe getting a third of it. And it was always excuse after an excuse from vendor to manufacturer to what's going on with the production. And we couldn't, it was putting bad taste in our customers' mouth for our name because
Absolutely.
They don't look at the big brother. They don't look at the other person.
Right.
I don't know if you went through the same thing.
We did.
They would look at us and they'd basically bash us online and be keyboard warriors and, this is a shitty company. Well, in reality, all we're doing is just start providing a part that someone else is making.
Right.
So that's how we started building axles. We visited a guy in Elkhart and he had a system, and we liked it. It was simple. I will say that running operations, it never crossed my mind how much actually goes into it as far as inventory value, that you can't really tie up anything else into it until you build the axle.
Right.
But being able to control how much inventory you have, or not even that, just how much stock you have on the yard, and being able to fulfill a customer's need when they're broke down right there on the spot is fucking great. But now that's how we got into it, because they couldn't service us no more, and we just like, oh, fuck it. If you're not going to service us,
we'll do it ourselves.
Yeah, hell.
Yeah, no. So the biggest thing that I noticed here in the last 4 years was, obviously everyone, the whole world stopped for the pandemic.
Yeah.
The whole world stopped.
Shut down.
And
nada.
That was one of the most interesting and trying times, not only in the trailer industry, but in all industries all over the world. right? And I will tell you, somehow, some way, we made it through that. I don't know, it was like seconds and inches, right? We, needing to source this product, this other companies buying all the product, or these other two companies, I should say, right, are buying up they're buying up all the steel,
the material,
they're buying up all the spindles,
ends,
they're buying up all the hubs and drums, and just buying everything. And somehow, it was just seemed like in that last second, we were always able to get what we needed. And we were very lucky for that, and that there's just a giant. I mean, we were so busy we couldn't keep up. Because people needed axles. They couldn't get them from the other guys, and we couldn't keep up. We did the best we could. We did good. Our lead times, I think, at that point got pushed out to 4 to 6 weeks. We were busy, and what I can tell you is that it was a learning experience. It taught us that not to have all of our eggs in one basket. Right. It absolutely did, and it also, what it did open the door to provide a service to a lot of these other manufacturers, these other dealers, these other repair shops that may have been ordering axles from someone else. They were calling us up and asking, "Hey, can you help us out because we can't get a hold of anyone?"
I know exactly what you mean, and. Like for us, we really don't even push everything that I don't really push to the wholesale. I don't push to the manufacturers, and I could, but right now, what I have right now is just enough to service my needs, and I don't want to overshoot my promise like other people do, like other companies are doing, and then you're stuck out 16 weeks for axles, 8 weeks for axles, and then when you get the wrong shit or they get half the shit you need, you look like the asshole that can't deliver anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have a 1 week. I know it's very similar. So we have a 1 week lead time. Right? And we're doing both torsions and we're doing spring axles.
See, I'm jealous.
That's all right. I think there's room for us to work together on this.
There is. We've been talking.
There's no reason for us to be giving business to the other guys.
No.
We should be working together.
We
should be working together.
And I'll just go ahead and name it. We got us two, Brewster, Axles Plus, and I think a couple other ones. So, I mean, if we wanted to, fuck, the Union of Axles or Axles of Union, or hell, make a name for it.
Right,
but,
absolutely.
I mean, it's heck, we
Axles
can,
Union.
Exactly.
That's what it is, right?
I mean, we're all, and like you said, we're not crossing each other's lines.
But even if we
did,
you're like right now, we're shooting for an OEM.
Yeah.
That is what we're looking for. Right now we're here. We are setting up distributors across the Midwest, right? We've in talks with some people on the East Coast, Pennsylvania and whatnot. Got a person right now I'm working in Cali. But we're trying to do, our market right now is to set up our own network of distributors across the nation. But we are shooting for a few OEMs. A few OEMs that want to come in, that want to give us a chance to show them that we make a better product than the other guys. We're using heavier wall tube than the other guys. And heavier rubber. I mean, we use 80 durometer rubber in our torsions. The other guys, they're only using 70. We're getting a longer lasting axle.
Not sure I am from Texas because everything's bigger in Texas.
And they need that. With the way that, the way of the world, right? But specifically, the trailer industry is getting bigger and heavier. Right, everybody wants a bigger, heavier trailer so they can put bigger, heavier stuff on it.
Because the end consumer ain't gonna give two shits if it's a 7,000 pound axle. That fucker's gonna put 14,000 pounds on a 7,000 pound axle.
Right.
But no, I know exactly what you mean. There's plenty of fish out in the ocean, and it's funny because we built, like in this show, we dropped our 10K axle, and that has stirred the pot a lot.
I loved
with it.
Absolutely loved it.
And it's funny. I just find it humorous. But it's all good. I mean, I'm not here to try to compete with them. There's plenty of people outside that, that just aren't getting the service. And that's what us as a company want to provide is the service and great quality.
Absolutely.
So.
And right now, so for us, we are having the best year we've ever had in the history of the company. We got a new GM last year. I call him the Magic Man. He is. He's
makes it happen.
He makes it happen. We have an amazing production manager. His name's Bill Hand. We call him the shop grandpa. you know, and our team in the back, man, our team in the back, like these guys have heart. They love the company. They're back there. They're so efficient. I cannot keep them. I'm in sales up front. I started as a welder as the company, right? And they allowed me to work my way up into sales, into the front office, and I've been there about 4 years now. 4 years this month. Well, actually last month, 4 years in August. And I can tell you that our team in the back is just, they're so efficient. I can't keep them busy enough. But how are we having our best year, right, ever in the history of our company, making more money than we ever had? But these guys are so good back there that I can't throw them enough work. Yeah. You know, it's a beautiful thing. It is. You know?
It is. So how long have y'all been making torsion axles?
So I think torsion axles have been about 5 or 6 years. You know, it was a process we had to design a press that allowed us to squeeze the rubber, to compress the rubber and freeze it, right? We had to make our own plates. So the plates that allow the shape of the rubber to be what it needs, right? Flat on one side, rounded on the other, so that way it can fit up against the inner bar and then fit in the four corners of the axle. So that was a little bit of a process, and then you know, sourcing the nitrogen to freeze and getting big enough tanks to keep that thing going, because you know, firing one of those up ain't cheap.
Yeah, no, we looked into it, and it's a large upfront investment, and but eventually it'll pay off, because it's something that there's not much of in the market.
Right.
And no, that's great.
And what we're doing too is not only are we, you know, freezing and slugging our own axles, but we're also making our own, we're also welding our own inner bar, dog bone, and spindles, you know.
Okay.
We were buying them as one assembly at one point, but found that we actually do it's actually a better product when we're pressing it ourselves and welding it in-house.
Okay.
You know, so
before we go, what is one piece of advice that you'd give to those out there who are wanting to take a jump and wanting to take that risk of being different, going against the grain like what we've been doing?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, don't let the big guys hold you down. You know, do what it takes, persevere, don't give up. You know, and find new ways to do things. You know, and don't keep all your eggs in one basket. I can tell you that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Don't keep all your eggs in one basket. Network, meet people, get your name out there, talk to people, find out what other people are doing that works. You know, I can tell that. You know, your guys' 8 and 10Ks are awesome. Like we are on the verge. About a year, we'll be having, you know, the 8K hybrid, the full 8 and the full 10. And what I can tell you is that you guys made a presence this year. You know, I respect that, and I envy it at the same time. You know, and we can learn a lot from each other.
Yeah.
You know, we can learn a lot from each other.
2 heads are better than one.
Absolutely.
Because the other guys they're. Well, I ain't even going to say it, but no, 2 heads thinking from outside the box is a lot better than just continuing what they're doing.
Right,
so,
absolutely.
But no.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. So I appreciate you having me on. Our flight's getting ready. They jumped our flight on us this morning, which I was telling you a little bit about that. And so I'm going to have to get out of here.
Yeah,
but,
no, that's fine.
Man,
appreciate you.
Dallas? Are you going to be in Dallas at the manufacturer show? So let's do it again.
Yes, sir.
Do it again in a few months, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Hey, appreciate it.
No, I'm grateful to know you. I'll be calling you this week.
Okay, go for it.
This coming week, let's get together on the torsions and figure out what we can collab on, and if there's room for us to work together.
Hey, we'll call Axles Plus and Voyager and see what we can't do next year for like when we discuss it. I ain't gonna go into much of that here.
No, let's not talk about that here.
All right, guys, appreciate it.
All right, buddy.